Welcome everybody to today's EOD market recap for 27th Jan 2017 and potential auction paths. Myself Dean, you can get in touch with me on my Twitter handle mp_at_dtte, or you can visit my website getthattradingedge.in. The softwares used for today's report are Bell Market Profile and Bell Order Flow. For details of the software, you can visit belltpo.com. Let me first go through the disclaimer. Information shared here is not a trading recommendation, and we are not in a business of providing any. All information shared here is strictly for educational purposes only. Please use your discretion while acting on the information shared here. We will not be responsible for any resulting profits and losses. Please consult your registered financial advisor before you make any trading and investment decision. So today there were no questions in the Slack group. So let's directly go to the charts. Let me start with the profile graphic. And as you can see, yesterday we mentioned that price has closed far too away from the fairest price for that day, and there was every chance that momentum would carry this price even further. We identified 8680 as an important level, and we touched that level in the morning session itself. Then we moved a bit higher and just formed this familiar P shape once again. The rest of the day we balance between the single prints and the point of control for this initial P. So if you split this chart, what you get is another big P and nothing else. So as we know that P is an old business going into a resistance is not good for continuation. But given the momentum of this move, we cannot say that this is the end of this up move and now the buyers are completely exhausted and sellers have taken over. We need much more structure to come to that conclusion. Also, given the fact that we are going into an important event on the first, the union budget, so such important event days are used for inventory transfer. So I don't think the sellers will be coming in early and give us a sense of the direction where they want to go before that event is done. So unless and until we have that event behind us, we cannot be very sure about the direction market may take, whether it will continue this up move even further, or maybe consolidate here till budget and then again fall. But in case we try to move higher, let me just mark a few levels. Next bit of congestion zone we have in 8770 and 750. Today we are expecting, if at all we had a rejection, it had to be sharp, but there was no rejection. In fact, we have nice acceptance at this level of 8680, and as we know, when auction finds acceptance at one level, it moves in the direction of the trend to find the opposing force. So now we can expect auction to test this 8770 750 zone to find the opposite response. Next important level higher is 8800. That's a round number also, and significant number according to market profile. But this is not compulsory. I mean, it is not written anywhere. It is not written anywhere that if we find acceptance at this particular level, there is a high probability of testing the upper references. But it's not a rule. We can as well consolidate in this wide area and then reject this particular balance to the downside, or just mark our time right here till budget and then find renewed strength and move higher into this particular area of reference, and maybe even higher towards 8800. But again, that would be taking things too far. We just have to concentrate on what is the structure currently. The current structure suggests that this early gap up and buyer strength was matched by sellers. Buyer strength was matched by sellers. And that is why we got this balance. So at least for the day, we have buyers and sellers in balance. Now, whether the momentum of this move will again continue this imbalance higher, or this balance is start this balance in the day time frame is the start of a much higher balance, that we will only come to know with further structural development. So far, all we know is that we have a P shape, it denotes short covering, or if we eliminate this particular tail, we just ignore this, then what we have is a nice balance, and a balance after a trend always tells us that sellers are now matching the buyers in case of an uptrend. So what path the auction will take? Before going into that, let us just look at the order flow charts for today. Here they are. And some interesting developments as usual. We had gap up again. What we have been saying all along, trapped sellers at the lows, not good for down move. Market went higher, again a few trapped sellers here. But what happened afterwards? Moved higher. Now here is an interesting development. As we move higher, we start to see these buyers getting accumulated at higher levels. Again we try to take this high out, and again we have this big buyer number here, but these are all not very high and are part and parcel of the normal auction process. But what happens is, once these three highs were made, we came down a bit and again tried to go up and test this high. What you get is a big number, some 64,000 and 41,000 buyers getting stuck at this higher level. And this is the time when which auction tells us that the buyers have given up their efforts to mark the price higher. So what happens as soon as we get these stuck buyers, or in other words, if we try to put it that big buying numbers and price not even able to take the high out. Now, why is that? If these were buyers, they should have taken the price higher, but this is not happening. This means that these buyers are stuck. Their last attempt to mark the prices up have failed, and promptly what we get is a markdown. So where do we go? We again come down. Now, I want to emphasize two areas. First is this one, uh, this particular development, which we have seen now a number of times in past few days, and see where it is occurring. Initial move, a P, again a small balance higher, but this was the area where the price was again and again coming back. Now what is happening here? Prices came back to this area with huge selling prints, again selling, again selling. The classic efforts versus result, selling, selling, selling into a important reference. This was a day time frame reference, mind you. This is not a very high time frame reference, but still we got this selling into this day time frame reference, and there was no follow through to the downside. Now we know that when these sellers are trapped, what we get is a counter move and prices move higher. Again, if you look at it, again going into the close, you can see that again a strong selling effort, again a strong selling effort. Sellers, sellers, big sellers. Dark red means big selling. So again selling, and where it is coming, this general area, the lower balance of the day. And what we did was, we could not take that balance out and move lower, so we could not do this, and maybe tag the open for the day, which was expected after a P shape. Neither did we did the smart players flush out the longs. I put in a Slack chat saying that these early sellers might be tested, but auction did not do that either. So order flow suggests that this was the level where buyers were stepping in and accumulating the supply, uh, and if this level holds, then we might see even higher prices. But now we know that this is the range, it comes around 675 to 660, where there is a lot of short interest trapped. So if these were being accumulated by limit buying, so if at all we trade below 660, 655 levels tomorrow, then all this limit buying will come under pressure. But if these buyers are strong and they hold, then they can put all these aggressive sellers under pressure tomorrow. So as it is, market profile suggests that we have to go with any breakout from balance, and we have seen a nice balance on the market profile chart. So any breakout or breakdown from that particular balance should give us a tradable move. So that could be our strategy for tomorrow, to find out where the market is trying to break out and go with that breakout. Let me just go back to the profile chart to show something more here. Okay. So we saw that effort versus result on order flow chart. The same thing can be seen on this particular profile chart. See, we had a nice opening, sharp up move, a correction which was held, and again an up move, but this time we did not take out the previous high. Also, we had sellers coming in at higher prices. Again, this pullback was sold into, but we could not take out the single prints. So early high, we could not take out early high in the second attempt, and we could not test the singles throughout the day. So it means that this level is being protected by buyers, and the auction is getting now tired. So at higher levels, buyers are not supporting the prices. Had the new buyers shown up at these levels, we could have seen something like this. A development of the range should have extended to the upside, but this has also not happened. This generally happens when both the buyers and sellers are matching each other, and usually denotes further balancing activity. But this in itself is a balance, and any breakout or breakdown from the balance should give us a tradable move. Uh, if the smart players have to offload into a budget day, given that the trend is incessant, not stopping at all, just moving higher on poor structure, then we might not go down. We will hold these single prints, we'll move higher and attract even more momentum traders and trend traders, get them into the market, uh, offload, distribute all that smart money has to distribute, and then fall. So that is actually getting a bit ahead of ourselves. Right now, what I can see is a small balance here. Uh, every likelihood of that balancing action continuing tomorrow, since our close was very, what you can say, it did not have any bias. It closed at the center of the profile, so that also is not giving us any signs. The only thing that would maybe put sellers be bit ahead of buyers is that the point of control is very close to the value at low instead of value at high. But again, the point of control as it is in the center of the day. So even though if we look at the value area separately, we have this point of control closer to the value at low, but compared to the whole day, we are closer to the center of the day. So all in all, pretty balanced day. Hoping for this balancing action to continue like this, make a 2-day composite possibly, even a 3-day composite on Tuesday, then maybe give a breakout and fail, or trap all the buyers out of the market, hit their stop loss and move higher on the budget day. So budget day is a different animal. We'll look at it in time. Currently, what I would do as a strategy is to mark this range, look to short in this area on signs of weakness. In case we come down and find acceptance here, then I would wait till we take test the open at least, and preferably look below the low and then move on. So I would not hurry for longs, but if I get a good sign of weakness in this region on the order flow charts or something like that, trap buyers or delta divergence, I would look in for a short scalp to the low of this balance. So today there were no possible trades because market stayed in a short range. Let's hope we get some tomorrow. So thank you for listening, and we'll meet on Monday now.